Hello, it's Saggy Joe. Unfortunately, gracing YouTube with some more content. So, this is a story I remember watching when I was younger. Like, I swear this is like 5 years ago. It made me mad then, and it makes me even more furious now. So, we'll just watch and see what happens.
Been following all week.
So, I'll give a quick synopsis. Basically, you can see it from the title. The HOA in Arizona is forcing a teen who was living with his grandparents in the 55 plus community, who lost both parents, by the way. They're trying to kick him out. Kid, 15 years old, lost both his parents, living with his grandparents because they're good people, and that's sort of like what you're supposed to do, if I'm not mistaken. But they want to kick him out, and we're just gonna go through it.
Long, a senior community kicking out a teen after both of his parents died, saying that teen can't live with his grandparents. ABC 15's Adam Waltz digs into the legality of the HOA's claim.
I've stepped in things that I find nicer than you people.
An understandably angry Prescott grandmother, Melody Passmore, taking in her 15-year-old grandson, Colin, whose parents died just 2 weeks apart. However, the HOA at the Gardens at Willow Creek had other ideas, sending a letter to the Passmores saying Colin has to go.
Just seems so heartless.
ABC 15 sharing the story that soon went viral. Now we're taking action, looking into the legality of the HOA's claim, something not unfamiliar in Arizona.
They were threatening to
Just take that in for a moment. So, in many places, I would assume America would be one of them, if your grandchild were to lose both the parents, I would presume, based on social norms and moral norms and probably just your own morality, you would bring your orphan grandchild in and help take care of them. And if you didn't, you'd be seen as a monster. However, it turns out you are seen as a monster either way. It's lose-lose. What the hell is going on? You can't even do a good deed anymore, man. No, it's actually true, though. A lot of people who are getting screwed over, like, it used to be, it always happened. Good people are always fucked by the system and by other people who will take advantage of their kindness. I am a victim of this shit. So I take it very personal.
not only kick him out, but kick out the grandparents.
Youngtown, Arizona was the nation's first age-restricted community. In the 90s, when a teen was taken in by his grandparents in a hardship situation, Youngtown attempted to kick them out. The then Attorney General stepped in.
And
Can you? I have no words. I can't even make a joke out of this. I kind of like the guy's name is Grant Woods, because he's granting them eternal social same and stuff like that. So this is not the first time, by the way. So this happened like it'll be 20 years ago now. Apparently in the 90s, same thing happened, and they tried to kick the kid out too, which is just diabolical. This is just, people always want, especially the rich people, always want us to be like, oh, we're so nice to each other. Oh, we should help each other out instead of, the rich people trying to fix things. And then this is, I understand that it's seniors only, right? I guess it would be the same as if, I don't know, you're a kid, you would need to pee, and the only washroom available is a women's washroom. Maybe this is like, no, that's not even on the same scale. But it's just like, if you just explain to the situation to the people that are in the washroom, I would imagine they'd be like, okay, that's fine. How about you just wait for all of us to leave? You can do your business and you get the fuck out of here. Is that not the case? Is that not what we do nowadays? Do we just It's sad. It's sad to see someone who's going through such hardship and just being treated like this, man.
he was shooting baskets into the night outside in the driveway. And A lot of these oldsters didn't like that.
Woods sided with the family, finding that Youngtown didn't file their age restrictions correctly.
By the way, think of this that attorney general is like, you old geezers, you're gonna kick the can anyway. Just let the kid live there.
The kid was able to stay with his family.
It seemed to me that the right thing to do is to show a little compassion.
The Fair Housing Act protects home buyers from discrimination, including age discrimination, but senior living communities have etched themselves a little loophole. One of the reasons senior communities can get around this is if at least 80% of the homes are occupied with somebody 55 or older. Former AG Grant Woods says in this Prescott case, he favors compassion over the rule book.
What would you want him to do? Turn him away? Oh, I'm sorry, you have to go live on the streets because we live in a 55 and older community. When a tragedy strikes a family in your community, I would think that these old people...
He couldn't have said it any better. Honestly. You could have just shown compassion just for a little bit and just give the kid like a more respite. Jesus Christ. He lost both his parents passed away in the span of 2 weeks, so he couldn't even process the first loss, and he had to deal with the second one. You know what I mean? Like that for any child, for any individual, let alone a child, to have to go through that, especially when you're a teen. It doesn't matter if you're it doesn't matter what your relationship was like with your parents. That's tough, because maybe you don't get along with your parents. You don't get the closure that you're looking for. Maybe you get along with your parents and you never see them again. And Grant Wood said it best. Choose compassion.
Who live there.
Yo, where do they get these loopholes anyway? Is this 55 community? Are they a bunch of rich people? That's the only explanation. Like, you had to be very rich to be just very delusional and to have been performed like numerous. Maybe, they're over the age of 55. Back in the day, lobotomies were still legalized. Perhaps they actually went through one. I don't know. Maybe there's a compassion component of the brain that just turns off when you become older. I mean, I'm in nursing, as far as I'm studied, that is not the case. But I could be wrong. Maybe I'm wrong.
Would walk over and say, how can we help?
A lawyer for Gardens at Willow Creek issued a statement saying they are working with lawyers for the family. According to their CC and Rs, the HOA's board can also make an exception and let Colin stay. Woods also saying that he would be willing to volunteer his time to mediate the situation free of charge. Adam Waltz, ABC 15, Arizona.
Mans was so upset he's going to go pro bono. You have any idea how intensive being a lawyer is? It's a lot of long ass labor. Like, obviously you're getting, like, you do get paid a lot, but a lot of times, if I'm not mistaken, you don't actually get paid unless the court goes, like, you go into court and there's an agreed upon settlement and there's a payment that's made. As far as I know, maybe it works like rent, where you get a deposit and then you're sort of like renting your lawyer out until the court date, and then once the court date gets finalized and there's a settlement, whatever, then you get your money. I actually don't know how this process works. I would imagine it's something like that too. So, like, going pro bono, kudos to the man. That's a man of integrity. That's an attorney general that I can stand by with. And again, like, for whatever reason, it's riling me up more now than it did back then, and I can't figure it out. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because I'm starting to be a nurse. He was shooting hoops into the night for 30 p.m. properly. HOA lost his fight to the court ruling in favor of the 15-year-old because it was age discrimination, which it is. It is age discrimination. That's the discrimination at its finest. I'm an old hag at 62 and hate the sound of basketball bouncing too. I used to sit in my apartment that sits in front of the basketball court. I don't complain. We all have a shared space and get along. I've stepped in. The grandma's quote. That's a bar. She's spitting some fire right there. I've stepped in things I find nicer than you people. Yeah, this is it, bro. They're making it sound like Colin's a pet rather than a human being. And I feel like no matter where you are in the political spectrum, I feel like unanimously everyone hates HOAs. So I don't know if this is going to be like a this is liberal conservative like topic. I feel like everyone equally dislikes them. So it's good to see that a lot of people sharing their opinions, and it's I'm a jerk. I'm a jerk, and even like this is too much, man. Even this is too much. What the hell is this? I think I saw this like recently. Like it's insane. It's insane the amount of like weird things that happens. But glad that so 3 years ago. So that means that it went to court a year ago, and sometimes the court of public opinion doesn't always win. But it's good to see the court of law and the court of public opinion. We're good to go. They kind of like they agreed on like the shittiness of the situation. And I hope Colin finds some solace. I don't know what's harder, losing your parents or losing your spouse. Like, is unanimously agreed that losing your child is the most painful thing that can happen to you, but probably the second most painful grief. Honestly, I would say losing your parent, man. Especially at that age, it is your parent. I'm not trying to downplay the fact that you like love your like girlfriend if you had one, but like you're still so young. You can always find another girlfriend, but you're gonna have one set of parents. Well, if they were good, one set of parents. So, yeah. I will say this, Colin. Grief is not meant to be solved in time. You learn to live with it, but it's a lifelong experience. And I'll tell you, as someone who's lost a lot of people, it's a lifelong experience, and you adjust, you adapt, and you learn to cope with your grief. But don't let people force you. Don't let people rush you. And find the right people. And it sounds like that you have a good support system. And the grandparents, I don't know who they are, maternal, paternal side. They just lost a child. They lost effectively. It was a good relationship, two children. The To be in the grandparents' shoes is awful. Not only do they lose their children, but they might even lose their grandson, and they're only doing the right thing. They're only doing the right thing, and I hope you guys find solace. And again, grief is not something that's meant to be solved in a day, in a month, in a year. Honestly, it's a permanent thing, and you just learn to live with life. You learn to, I wouldn't say move on, but you just gotta keep moving forward. Yeah, do your best to keep them in your memory, keep the love, but also allow yourself to grow, allow yourself to find success, because that's what your parents would have wanted. It's a shame. It's a shame, man. Anyways, that's everything I gotta say, man. Thank you very much. Later days.